Deep in the Grand Canyon lies an Egyptian secret. Has it been covered up by the government? Watch now to find out. When the clock strikes midnight, when the world is quiet, the mysteries begin to whisper, from unsolved disappearances to chilling paranormal encounters, from ancient secrets to the bizarre truths hidden in plain sight. This is your gateway to the unknown. Welcome to Midnight Mysteries, where curiosity meets the unexplained. Subscribe now, hit the bell, and let the Midnight Mysteries find you before they disappear into the shadows. Imagine standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, its vast chasm swallowing the last rays of sunlight, when you stumble upon a hidden crevice pulsing with an eerie golden glow. Inside, a labyrinth of ancient chambers reveals treasures that defy history. Egyptian hieroglyphs carved into stone, mummies wrapped in linen older than the pyramids, and golden artifacts whispering tales of a lost civilization. This isn't a fantasy. It's a story buried since 1909, when two explorers claimed to uncover an Egyptian city deep within these cliffs, only for their discovery to vanish without a trace. Could it be that powerful forces have kept this explosive truth hidden for over a century? Join us as we plunge into the heart of the Grand Canyon's greatest mystery, a secret so profound it could rewrite everything we know about our past. Let's journey back to April 5, 1909, a time when the Wild West still echoed with tales of adventure, and the Grand Canyon was a frontier of untamed wonder. On that day, the Arizona Gazette, a modest Phoenix newspaper, published a front-page story that sent shockwaves through the fledgling world of archaeology: Explorations in Grand Canyon. The article described a discovery so staggering it seemed ripped from the pages of a Jules Verne novel, an underground citadel hidden within the canyon's depths, filled with artifacts of ancient Egypt. The story began with G.E. Kincaid, a rugged explorer with weathered boots and a sun-scorched face, who had spent decades scouring remote lands for the Smithsonian Institution. In late 1908, Kincaid embarked on a solo boat journey down the Colorado River, his wooden skiff bobbing through rapids under cliffs that glowed like molten copper in the dawn light. 42 miles upriver from El Tovar, at a depth of 1,086 feet and 2,000 feet above the riverbed, he spotted a narrow crevice in the canyon wall, barely wide enough for a man to squeeze through. Driven by instinct, he anchored his boat and climbed the sheer rock face, his calloused hands gripping jagged stone. What he found inside was beyond imagination, a network of tunnels carved with geometric precision, their walls shimmering with mica flakes that caught his lantern's amber flame. The air was thick with the musty scent of ancient dust, and the silence was broken only by the faint drip of water echoing in the darkness. As Kincaid ventured deeper, he discovered chambers filled with treasures, golden vases etched with lotus motifs, copper swords gleaming with a patina of age, and mummies wrapped in yellowed linen, their amulets of emerald and lapis lazuli glinting in the flickering light. Hieroglyphs covered the walls, intricate symbols of ankhs, scarabs, and falcon-headed gods painted in turquoise, ochre, and faded crimson, suggesting a civilization that thrived millennia ago. One chamber held a stone shrine, its altar adorned with what Kincaid described as Buddhist-like relics, hinting at a fusion of cultures that defied explanation. Enter Professor S.A. Jordan, a scholarly figure with wire-rimmed spectacles and a neatly trimmed beard, dispatched by the Smithsonian to lead a team of 30 archaeologists. Jordan's team, equipped with lanterns, ropes, and leather-bound notebooks, spent weeks cataloging the find. They estimated the citadel could have housed 50,000 people, with granaries, temples, and a royal burial chamber suggesting a sophisticated society. Jordan, poring over the hieroglyphs by candlelight, concluded the artifacts dated to the era of King Ramses around 1250 BC, implying Egyptians had crossed oceans to establish an outpost in North America. The implications were staggering. A transcontinental civilization predating Columbus by thousands of years, challenging every history book ever written. But then the trail goes cold. No artifacts were ever displayed, no photographs surfaced. Kincaid and Jordan vanished from public record, and the Smithsonian claimed no knowledge of the expedition. The crevice, supposedly accessible only by expert climbers, was never relocated. Was this a hoax spun by a sensationalist newspaper? Or was the discovery too dangerous to be revealed, silenced by forces determined to protect the status quo? What could be so earth-shattering that it needed to be erased from history? If this citadel was real, why would the world's most powerful institutions hide it? What secrets lie locked in those ancient chambers, so threatening that they've been guarded for over a century? So, why has the Grand Canyon's Egyptian citadel vanished from history? The answer points to a potential cover-up so intricate it spans generations, involving the Smithsonian Institution and the U.S. government guarding ancient knowledge. Let's peel back the layers of this enigma. The Smithsonian, a bastion of scientific authority, claims no record of Kincaid, Jordan, or their expedition. Yet, the Smithsonian's history is riddled with accusations of suppressing anomalous finds, giant skeletons, lost civilizations, and artifacts that don't fit the accepted narrative. Could the Grand Canyon discovery have been deemed too disruptive? Imagine the chaos if evidence proved Egyptians sailed to America thousands of years ago. It would upend academic dogma, challenge religious and cultural histories, and force a rewrite of human migration theories. Such a revelation could destabilize institutions built on the status quo, providing a powerful motivation to keep this information hidden from the public. The National Park Service, which oversees the Grand Canyon, adds another layer of mystery. Officials have admitted that the canyon contains thousands of unexplored caves, but all are off-limits to the public, citing safety concerns. Locals whisper of restricted zones near Marble Canyon, where helicopters patrol at dusk, their searchlights slicing through the twilight, and armed rangers guard unmarked trails. Social media claims suggest these areas hide pyramids and sealed caves, protected by forces beyond the Park Service. Why such secrecy for mere geological formations? Then there's Joe Mulhattan, a notorious hoaxer of the era, suspected by some historians to have penned the 1909 article. Mulhattan was a master of yellow journalism, crafting tales of petrified presidents and giant caves to sell newspapers. A local paper called the article "A Mulhattan Story," suggesting fabrication. But consider this: the article's details, specific coordinates, vivid descriptions of artifacts, and named explorers are unusually precise for a hoax. Could Mulhattan have stumbled upon a real story, embellishing it for effect? Or was he a pawn, paid to discredit a genuine discovery by framing it as fiction? The 1909 article mentions the Smithsonian sent artifacts to Washington, D.C. for study, yet no trace of them exists in public collections. Conspiracy theorists speculate they're locked in a secret vault alongside other forbidden relics. In 1962, a book claimed locals knew of the cave and had seen artifacts, though none were ever recovered. In 1992, an author interviewed elderly prospectors who swore they'd glimpsed golden relics in hidden canyon grottos. These accounts, while unverified, fuel the belief that something was found and deliberately hidden. Who benefits from this silence? And what are they protecting in those forbidden caves? If this is just a tall tale, why does it refuse to die? Could there be tangible proof out there waiting to be unearthed that the Egyptian citadel exists? Let's examine the evidence that keeps this mystery alive, defying a century of suppression. First, the Arizona Gazette article itself is a treasure trove of detail describing the citadel's location, 1,486 feet down, 42 miles upriver from El Tovar, and its contents with a precision that feels too specific for fiction. It mentions hieroglyphs, mummies, a Buddhist shrine, and copper weapons, painting a vivid picture of a cross-cultural outpost. The article's specificity suggests at least some basis in truth, perhaps a real discovery, exaggerated by journalistic flair. Eyewitness accounts add weight to the story. In 1962, a book reported that Grand Canyon locals, including miners and ranchers, spoke of a hidden cave with strange relics passed down through oral traditions. In 1992, an author interviewed descendants of early settlers who claimed their ancestors saw golden vases and stone tablets in remote canyon grottos, though the artifacts mysteriously disappeared. These stories, while anecdotal, form a persistent thread across decades. The Grand Canyon's geography itself holds clues. In 1882, geologist Clarence Dutton named landmarks like Isis Temple, Horus Temple, and Osiris Temple, inspired by Egyptian mythology. Amateur archaeologists, using early 20th century maps and modern satellite imagery, point to unusual rock formations near Marble Canyon, angular structures that resemble man-made ruins hidden among natural spires. Social media posts describe an Egyptian city with sealed entrances, while others claim hikers have spotted hieroglyph-like carvings in restricted zones. Then there are the strange occurrences reported by modern adventurers. Hikers describe eerie lights flickering in remote canyons at night, accompanied by low humming sounds that seem to emanate from the earth. Others report encounters with rangers who warn them away from certain trails, their faces stern and their rifles gleaming in the moonlight. In 2018, a prospector claimed to have found a copper amulet near the Colorado River, etched with an ankh, but it was confiscated by authorities before it could be studied. Early 1900s technology limited exploration, but today's tools, ground-penetrating radar, drones, and thermal imaging, could unlock the Citadel's secrets. Yet, the National Park Service maintains strict control, with no-fly zones and permits required for archaeological digs. Why such vigilance if there's nothing to hide? Mainstream archaeology dismisses the Egyptian claims, pointing to 12,000-year-old indigenous artifacts like Clovis points and pottery. But history is full of impossible discoveries that later prove true. The Trojan War, once a myth, is now archaeological fact. Could the Grand Canyon Citadel be next? The truth is out there, locked in the canyon's ancient stone. Will we uncover it, or will the powers that be keep it obscured forever? What do you believe? Is the Grand Canyon hiding an Egyptian citadel, suppressed by those who fear its revelations? Or is it a century-old legend spun to captivate imaginations? The mystery burns brighter than ever, and it's up to us to keep searching. If this journey made you think, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more intriguing histories. Thanks for joining us, and never stop chasing the truth.